All right, so have you ever done plyometrics in the gym? These are going to be very common exercises that are great for athletes to improve on explosiveness, quickness on the ground. Going to be really important for sports like running, any field or court sport. Try to improve vertical jump height, prepare tissues for impact and loading. So something that is really, really good. Even for our active adults that just want to participate in fitness, jumping is going to be really good for tennis players, for golfers to improve driving distance. Also just going to be good for day to day to maintain your muscular power, your ability to move quickly and explosively. But not everyone is ready to do max effort jumping, and not everyone understands how to kind of scale their jumping or their plyometrics to their level and what their body or their injury history or their joints will allow them to without having to go through pain. So I just wanted to walk through some of our strategies on how we like to make plyometrics harder or easier. So the first thing that we start talking about is what makes a plyometric stressful, and it's actually number one, how high is the fall? So typically the most stressful part of a plyometric is going to be hitting the ground and landing from that plyometric or that impact force that your body has to dissipate. And so the higher the fall, the more stressful the plyometric is going to be on your bones, tendons, and joints. So we can control that through a variety of things, and this is some common misconceptions that we see. We actually look at a box jump and jumping up to a surface as something that is a little bit less stressful than maybe a normal jump or jumping off of a box. Because if I'm going to jump up on this box, right, I'm bringing the floor, in this case 12 inches higher. So if I jumped 20 inches in the air, rather than landing a jump from 20 inches and having to control all that force, I actually brought the floor 12 inches up, and I only had to land a jump that was relatively 8 inches off the ground. So that was going to be an easier plyometric. Now obviously at a certain standpoint, trying to jump up to a 100-inch box is going to be a very big challenge and not something that everyone would do, but typically jumping up to a surface is going to be easier than jumping off a surface. Okay, the next thing that we're going to see is how long do you have for the plyometric. So what we're really working on with jumping is something called impulse. And to jump really high, we need a really high impulse. But there are multiple ways to get impulse. Essentially, impulse is force times time. So we can have a very high force over a very short time. This is going to be what we really look for in athletes that are trying to be quick off the floor and very explosive. So basketball players, volleyball players, other team sports like that, where we really want both speed and high force movements, are going to do that. But that's going to be relatively hard on your body. To make it easier on your body, we can actually allow for a longer time to complete a jump, more time to dissipate force. You're sometimes able to jump just as high, takes a little longer, but it gives your body a little bit more time to absorb force. So in a situation like that, we can do the same jump, it's just going to look very different in two different ways. So if I started on this box, I could kind of come off this box, land, and jump again. That's a very slow plyometric, a lot of time spent on the ground. I'm going to be able to use more time, less force. It's a little easier on my body. Again, for sports performance, for things like that, more stressful, but maybe more sports specific, we're going to want to really attack the ground, jump as high as we can. You can probably just hear the difference in the foot strike to the ground going through those two different plyometrics. So allowing more time on the ground is going to decrease the stress that your body goes through. So those are going to be the two main ways that we can do this, is we can control the height of the fall and we can control the time on the ground to make the plyometrics or the jumping activities harder or easier on your body. So try some of those techniques the next time you're in the gym, want to jump, but maybe don't want all the discomfort that's associated with it, to see if you can find a variation that works for you.